Welcome, race fans, to the Racing Roundup Show. For 39 years and counting, we are your destination for news and interviews from within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for America's longest-running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd live and in person for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? Thanks for being part of our program. Looking forward to seeing you here on a given Tuesday. We got a bunch of folks here tonight, bunch of race cars out front. Pretty exciting night to join us here. We got plenty of room for you at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield, right across from Turn 1 of the Milwaukee Mile. We had a big weekend over the weekend, 5 divisions of racing on Sunday. Getting geared up for the NASCAR return as well, August 27th of the mile. More on that on the show. Lots to cover. 20th already. Wow. Hey, sponsors make the show possible. We'd like to recognize and thank Oak Creek Automotive, Danny Lynch's Bar, and Central Services Company Incorporated for their long-standing involvement in our show. Please support their businesses. You can see them, their links on our website, racingroundupshow.com. Click on their links, please, and support their products and businesses. We appreciate them, and we know that racers want to help racers, so that they're helping us, and hopefully you can use their services and support their businesses as well. Tonight on our program, we have USAC Silver Crown champion Cody Swanson. He's coming up for a fresh win at Toledo Speedway in the 500 Sprint Car Tour, but he's also racing this Friday night. The USAC Silver Crown return in the Bitech Dairyland 100 USAC Silver Crown race at Madison International Speedway on Wisconsin's fastest half mile. We also have CK Contractors Autobeater Wisconsin wingless sprints driver Derek Crane, who brought the 14 AJ to display here this evening. Thank you, Derek, for doing that. Turk Letizia brought that beautiful number 24 out front. Be racing at this Saturday at 141 Speedway in the Diamond 45 in honor of his dad, Diamond Jim Letizia. 45 years of racing, $4,500 to win. Turk's going to be racing for his own money, kind of like Kyle Larson in the high limit deal. We're talking to Turk about how he's going to bag the money this Saturday at 141 in that prestigious Wabam Dirt Kings Tour race as well. One of the winningest drivers this season as far as Jesse Bernhagen. In late models, he's won 4 in a row at Slinger Super Speedway. He's been racing for quite some time, but it's our first chance to have Jesse here at our show. He brought some great giveaways. Thanks to Jones Dairy Farm for bringing those. So we have those giveaways to give away from his sponsor here after the program as well. We also have Bill Howland in the groove and results from near and far. So come on down and join the racing crowd. Great giveaways after the show. We're hanging out with you at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Make your pit stop now and get your tickets for the return of the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
July 27th through the 29th at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. This weekend will also be jammed with on-track and off-track action as the Porsche Carrera Cup will also be on the schedule. Road America voted best NASCAR track by the fans. Kids 16 and under get free admission with paid adult. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com. Road America, your National Park of Speed.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Hey gang, Richie Bickle here. I want you to join us for the largest short track party at sea. Sail the Eastern Caribbean on the Norwegian Encore this coming January 7th to the 14th. Join Scott Hansen and myself and a bunch of other drivers on Bickle's Bon Voyage cruise. Enjoy unlimited craft beer, drinks, gourmet food. You might even get to race against us on the go-kart. We'll have a special question and answer session with the racers on board. And I know it'll be a ton of fun. Escape the January winter weather. We'll see you in the Dominican Republic, Tortola, and the Bahamas, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Sail the Caribbean with us January 7th through the 14th on Bickle's Bon Voyage. Call Mark at Making Memories Travel at 262-527-1341 or visit mymmtravel.com and click on Bickle's Bon Voyage. Link for information.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back. It's a great Tuesday evening to share with you this evening. We spent a great Saturday afternoon previewing the race to come at the Milwaukee Mile, thanks to DeAndre's Construction and to Oak Creek Automotive. They actually were sponsoring our road show we did in Victory Lane at the Milwaukee Mile last weekend before the big stock car divisions raced on Sunday. I'd like to thank them as well as Track Enterprises for their support of our program here all year long. If you're looking to sell or buy your home or commercial property, choose Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. MattRapina.com. MattRapina.com. We are on the cusp of a very cool racing weekend. USAC sprint cars are in town for Saturday and Sunday nights. But we start on the pavement in Wisconsin at Madison International Speedway. Wisconsin's fastest half mile. A man who's won there a couple of times joins us now via a video link. Let's welcome in defending USAC Silver Crown champion Cody Swanson. Cody, welcome to Wisconsin via the Racing Roundup Show. Can you hear us okay, Cody?
I can hear you.
Can you hear us okay? Can you hear us, Cody?
I don't hear nothing.
I hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Nope.
How about now? 1, 2, 3, 4, testing. That's how we do in the real, kind of cool stuff. Testing 1, 2. Matt, do we want to send him a link to the other way? We can do that. Okay. Okay, we're going to hang up and call you back. I don't know how to do that in sign language, so we'll be right back with Cody Swanson here on the Racing Roundup program. While we got a moment, we'll tell you about what happened in the world of NASCAR over the weekend. So we're going to hang up, Cody, so we can call you right back. Perfect, thank you. So we're going to tell you about the world of NASCAR, the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin. Starts with Luke Fenhouse competing in the Sprecher 150 ARCA Menard Series race, followed by Ty Majeski leading the other playoff contenders in the Clean Harbors 175 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race. Visit MilwaukeeMileRacing.com for more information. There's a major announcement press conference tomorrow with Stewart Haas Racing, including Kevin Harvick. Recently, it was reported by Sports Business Journal's Adam Stern that driver Josh Berry has signed on with KAI Truck Management for present representation. That's KHI's Kevin Harvick Incorporated. They're announcing that perhaps their new driver for next year in the Cup Series. Cody, do you have us now? No. Okay. We're going to try again. Could you please text them the switcher app? Cool. Speaking of NASCAR, we have to hang up on Cody again. We'll get him right back with us. Putting 2 and 2 together, Josh Berry may be introduced tomorrow as Kevin Harvick's successor in the season in the Cup, the number 4 Cup car. We don't know for sure yet. The announcement's tomorrow afternoon. We'll find out then. But the 31-year-old Josh Berry is in his second full season in the Xfinity Series. He's been impressive in his 8 Cup starts for Hendrick Motorsports this year, including a second-place finish at Richmond in relief of injured driver Chase Elliott. who he replaced for 5 races total. He was in the car when Alex Bromo was nursing a neck injury for 3 races this year. The Nashville Superspeedway is where all 3 NASCAR National Series teams head this weekend. They have the weekend off, and it's good to see that Chase Briscoe will have his old Xfinity crew chief Richard Boswell with him. They made the switch for this coming week at Nashville going forward. He'll be his Cup crew chief on the 14 car. 7 drivers raced this past Sunday at the Milwaukee Mile and expected to race in the ARCA Menard Series or NASCAR Truck Series race at the Mile on August 27th. Count at 8 if you count Corey Heim. Corey Heim was actually a full-time Truck Series driver now in his second full year. He practiced at the Mile Saturday in place of 2 Donnie Wilson Racing drivers who raced Saturday night at Berlin Raceway in Michigan. When it came to the race, second in truck points, Ty Majeski dominated Sunday's Father's Day 100 ASA Midwest Tour and ASA Stars National Tour race at the Milwaukee Mile. The 100-lapper was stopped 6 times for caution flags, with the majority of the front runners electing to change all 4 tires under yellow at lap 59. Majeski soon took the lead after and led them all from there on out to lap 100. His max points victory also extends Ty's point lead in the ASA Stars National Tour. Fellow Truck Series racer and full-timer Carson Hocevar finished 3rd behind Casey Roderick. William Sawalich finished 4th. He's a teenager out of Minnesota. He's expected to race both ARCA and truck races at the Mile on Sunday, August 27th. There were 2 scary crashes on Sunday in the ASA Stars race that I called on the live stream. Oak Creek Automotive sponsor Jeff Storm led the field on a mid-race restart, drifted back, and then he kept falling back, and something happened to the right front. He went right into the wall and turned 4. Man, it was a hard hit. Good thing they took their time, took Stormy out. He said afterward to a message reply, he's a little banged up, just like his race car, but he will be back in action. Justin Mondek's car was sent spinning off the nose of Sean Hingarani. He lifted up the rears off a 2, sent his car outside, and before he could handle it, get a handle on it, it went nose first into the backstretch wall, for Mondek. Destroyed the car, destroyed the motor, and good thing that Justin walked away. He did not race that slinger as expected on Sunday night to do the double there. Just trying to get the car loaded. It took a little while. You can watch the next race. You can watch that race, yesterday's ASA Stars race, on MAV TV on Monday night, Monday night, June 26th. Monday night, June 26th on MAV TV, All-American Racing. That's the block that they'll run oval track racing on MAV TV on Monday nights. Every ASA Stars race will be on there in a tape-delayed setting, so you'll hear Adam Mackey and I on the call on that on Monday night, June 26th. So next, less than a week away. 6 days from now, June 26th on MAV TV's All-American Racing. Indy cars raced at Road America over the weekend. What a great run that was. A huge crowd. What a great weekend it was to be in Wisconsin to go racing, right? We got a World of Outlaws stuff to talk about. They were all in town. Indy cars, it was Alex Palou beating out last year's winner, Joseph Newgarden, who won the Indy 500 this year in a 1-2 finish. It was a good run for Ganassi and Penske, of course. Mr. Penske, Roger Penske, visited the Milwaukee Mile Sunday morning on his way to Road America, checking things out, looked things over, stopped by and saw the drivers in the drivers' meeting briefly and talked about perhaps the possibility of Indy cars coming to Milwaukee. According to Journal Sentinel's Dave Coleman, the Milwaukee newspaper motorsports writer for 3 decades, he said he got some more further information from Penske's camp saying there should be more work to be done at the mile, but it's promising to see the improvements already made, but they'll have a ways to go for Indy cars' return. No deals are in place. Just thought I'd give you that update as well. All right, we'll keep on rolling here. We want to tell you about CK Contractors. They are bringing us some really good results for our show. They bring us the Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints coverage and what's happening at Wilmot Raceway. We'll kick into some of those local results and highlights. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavation and grading, retention pond building, and more. Recent show guest Clayton Rossman outlasted Ryan Marshall in their battle for supremacy in the 20-lap Wisconsin Wingless feature on Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. A late charge by Chris Klemko of CK Contractors netted him a 4th-place finish, 1 spot ahead of tonight's show guest Derek Crane. Other winners at Wilmot on Saturday were Joel Siegert in Modifieds. His dad was in victory lane with him. Mark Heinert had his dad join him in victory lane after he won the IRA Lightning Sprints, and it was the first ever trip to Wilmot for Bandit 4-cylinder winner Josh Sipes of DeKalb, Illinois. For the first time in 14 years, the USAC National Sprint Cars race this Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway, where they'll be joined by the Wisconsin Wingless Sprints and a feature-only event for the Modifieds. Visit WilmotRaceway.com for details. The Badger Midgets raced Friday night at Gravity Park in Chilton, where Adam Taylor earned top honors. Another repeat winner this season in the Badger Midgets was on Saturday night when the series traveled to the Plymouth Dirt Track, where Brandon Welty won his 3rd feature of the season. They're racing at Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie this Sunday night, along with the USAC National Sprint Cars in Sun Prairie. The bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprinters were off because the World of Outlaws were at Beaver Dam this past couple of days. They're racing this Saturday the Bill Waite Jr. Memorial in Fairbury Speedway in Illinois. Details at irasprints.com. William Sawalich pounced late to win Saturday night's ARCA Menard Series race at Berlin Raceway outside of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Point leader Jesse Love held the first 198 laps before a nudge from Swalich and nosed into turn 3. Just nudged him a little bit into turn 3. Sent Love's Toyota up the hill. Swalich went on to win. Love is not happy. It's going to boil over this Saturday night at Elko Speedway, the smallest track ARCA Menard Series will run. I'll be there this Saturday working with the Fox Sports production team. We'll see how those two dominant drivers and teams in the ARCA Menard Series will fare this Saturday night in the Menards 250. Looking ahead to what's going on in the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report and other news. Congrats to Chester Ace, who built a brand new Midwest Truck Series truck for 2023 with the intention of learning from and remembering how he got beat by inches by James Swan in 2021 at the mile. Mission accomplished, lessons learned, lessons earned, and he went on to victory lane. We had Chester on our Saturday road show at the mile, and he was pretty pleased with his practice speeds. He raced out to victory on Sunday at the mile. Oak Creek Automotive sponsor James Swan raced the second, with last Tuesday's show guest Jeff Holtz moved up to third after tech inspection wiped away Mr. Moyer's run to third. Austin Moyer got DQ'd, I think, something in the engine department. So moved Jeff Holtz up to third. Bill Preetzel started on the front row, the Mid-Am Racing feature on Sunday at the mile, where it was Jeremy Spoonmore taking the checkered flag. Kyle Stark kept the winner's trophy in Wisconsin after he raced away his way to victory in the Traveling Vors Compact Touring Series at the mile. Gio Selzy and Sheldon Hodenschild won the World of Outlaws features over the weekend at Beaver Dam Raceway. Sunday night at Slinger Speedway, Dennis Prunty won the 75-lap Super Late Model feature after holding off his nephew Alex and R.J. Braun. BMRE Electric Karts and e-bikes owner Brad Miller finished 7th. What a pleasant sight. I see Cody Swanson again looking at me. Cody, how are you? Good to see you. Can you hear us okay?
Good. How are you, Jim? Nice to see you. Nice to hear you.
Appreciate your patience. Cody Swanson, everybody.
Yeah.
We thank you. I know you got a lot going on, and you've been racing all over the place. Saturday night, you raced the 5th at Port Royal in the USAC Silver Crown Series. And I just want to point out, Cody, as we say, okay, Cody Swanson, he's a pavement guy, right? Nah. You can't win 7 Silver Crown championships without being a dirt guy, too. I'm going to remind you who finished behind you this past Saturday night. Yeah, Logan Seavey won the race at Port Royal, but behind you finished Justin Grant, Shane Cottle, C.J. Leary, and Kevin Thomas Jr. I mean, like right behind you. You did okay on the dirt with this new Dornbinks team, man. How'd it go for you on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be able to be disappointed with a top 5 finish there at a place like Port Royal. But I feel like we've been pretty strong for just trying to start out with this new dirt situation out of Dornbinks Racing and trying to learn that together. But we've been qualifying well and running up front early, and so there's a lot of good potential there that I'm excited about. You just got to figure out how to be a little faster at the end of these races. But like you said, there were still a lot of good dirt guys behind us. So we're in the thick of it, and I'm thankful for that and looking forward to just trying to compete our way forward.
I'm gonna go back one more step to Belleville, the high banks of Kansas. You finished second there, and that's the place where you really have to be dirt worthy, right? I mean, that ought to be kind of fun returning to the high banks in Kansas too this year already.
Yeah, it was neat, and we opened it with a quick time and a track record there, and that what a historic place, Belleville, and so fast. And but we had a really good car that night and led early, and I'll tell you what, to be completely truthful, the cushion got packed against the wall, and Justin and Brady are just better at it than I was, and they battled for the lead, and while they tangled, maybe I got one free one back to help us finish second instead of third, but it was still good to be among the dirt guys, right? To be in the thick of it and a chance to compete with them. And I'm working on it. I'm working on my part, trying to get better and more comfortable up there, trying to knock the wall down like those guys do. And slowly we're like I said, we're at least racing with them and looking forward to the rest of the events this summer.
And the schedule comes to Wisconsin this coming Friday night. I know we got washed out over the last couple of years, but 2018, 2019, Cody Swanson pulled into victory lane at Madison International Speedway. Another chance awaits you this Friday evening. What are your thoughts about returning to Wisconsin's fastest half mile in the Silver Crown car?
Yeah, I love coming to Madison. What a unique racetrack and really fun for the Silver Crown cars, right? We run a 100-lap feature, I think the Dairyland 100, and it has all the best things about Silver Crown, right? That the race will actually change pace a couple different times, and by the end you're out of fuel and out of tires and have to figure out how to finish it. So I love the chance to race there. It's tight quarters, but it's a great racetrack for racing and maneuvering and figure out how to make your car work. So last year we come up a little bit short and ran fourth, but they've been great competitors in the Silver Crown Series, and it's a fun track to come and give it our best shot at.
We've seen you race there in a stock car. The last couple of years, your opportunities have come with various formula cars and racing a stock car, winning the Pro Late Model New Smyrna Speedway World Shows of Asphalt stock car racing. I mean, there's other opportunities that have come about, but I really want to think about, okay, Cody Swanson has really good open wheel car no matter what you do with them. But now we got the National Pavement Midget Championship at IRP, racing midgets on pavement again. And we've got a full-on second season of the 500 Sprint Car Tour where we're racing pavement sprint cars. That has to be wonderful for you, knowing that not just 4 or 5 times a year on pavement with Silver Crown, we're now racing 15, 20 or more races a year on pavement, which I would say is where you shine the brightest lately anyway in the last 5-6 years.
Well, thanks. No, it's been really neat, to have had those opportunities in stock cars and formula cars, and I did everything I could to try to pursue those, and I'm thankful for the chance that I did have, to try to figure out for myself if I could try to transition to those kind of cars and enjoy those opportunities. But I'm still thankful to be racing open wheel cars. It's been so neat the last few years to have the resurgence, for pavement open wheel, to include midgets and sprint cars again. They've been carried kind of by the Silver Crown over the last half a decade or so, but and have the Sprint Car Tour, back and kind of a real traveling series has been really something that's been neat to enjoy, and something I'm glad to do, to get to, like you said, just get to race those cars more often, and thankful for the fans that have come out and supported it. We had a great crowd this last Sunday, Toledo Speedway, come out to see sprint cars on Father's Day. So that was, really encouraging. And obviously we've got the little 500 that draws a big crowd. So it's been great to see that people are starting to enjoy pavement as much as I do a little bit.
We also know that Father's Day was a special day for your sons, Trevor and Adam, because they got to go with Mom Jordan to see you in Victory Lane at Toledo Speedway. How special was that, winning the 500 Sprint Car Tour race convincingly at Toledo Speedway on Father's Day?
Yeah, that was really neat. It's neat to win on Father's Day. I don't know that I've done that before, had that opportunity before. So that was really special to share that with my wife Jordan and our 2 boys. And but to be honest, Jim, I hadn't won anything yet this year, so it was nice just to get to Victory Lane and see if I remembered how. So it was really good. I feel like we've had fast race cars, like you said, and whatever the service has been, and but just glad to finally finish one off and get our team to Victory Lane.
And how comforting is it knowing the work put in for you this year is with Doran Binks Racing? 500 Sprint Car Tour, same team. Silver Crown, Doran Binks Racing. It's been different the last couple of years. How has that transition helped you say, okay, I make one phone call to one shop and I talk to the guys I need to talk to if I can't be there in person? How different is that for you in 2023?
Yeah, it's been nice. At the beginning, it obviously has its challenges because we're branching them out into new car types and to new types of racing, and kind of taking it all in to try to run around the dirt whenever we can and just be more familiar with it. And it's been nice. We've been enjoying it together. I feel like we've got a lot of people all really trying hard, all pulling in the same direction, and just trying to make our team better no matter what kind of car we're racing that weekend. So it's been fun. We've been competitive and been close, so it's fun to finally win one, and do it on on Sunday afternoon after the guys drove all night with us after Saturday night in Port Royal. Right after it went in, it was nice to get the results for them. So it's been a positive thing so far this year, and looking forward just to building on it from here.
And we look forward to seeing the Mission Foods car on the track this coming Friday night. Thanks for that sponsorship. I've actually eaten more Mission strips, I think, than I ever have. I'm like, Mission Foods has sponsored Cody Swanson. Let's get some of that. And I think I've got 4 different kind of bags going on right now. So it's kind of cool. You have a retail partner, too, as a sponsor.
Yeah, that's great, and I appreciate that. I appreciate their support, of our sprint car team, and it's been great to have, so many people involved in the sport, from like yourself or race fans in general that have mentioned, the Mission brand, whether it be chips or their tortillas, and I know our family enjoys them, especially our boys and us too, and so it's really neat to have that partnership and to see how much they've been supporting, motorsports across the board, and thankful to be representing them here in the open wheel world.
Cody Swanson, thanks for your time. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for your fortitude for getting us through here and getting us on the program and helping us promote seeing you race this Friday night at Madison International Speedway, Wisconsin's fastest half mile. It all begins this Friday night. Gates open at 6, racing at 7:30. I'm sure they'll be practicing in the afternoon. Come on down, buy a Cody Swanson T-shirt. For maybe Jordan to be the one selling them. We don't know. She usually sets it up. So it's kind of cool to know your family's going to be there, and hopefully a bunch of our Wisconsin racing families are there to see you as well. Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, It'd be great. Sure appreciate you having me on the show. Always love to come on and chat about racing, and looking forward to being there in Madison. Hope we get to see you out there.
How would I say it for Cody Swanson, everybody? We got a live audience here tonight. They're excited and appreciative of your time. Looking forward to seeing you Friday in Victory Lane once again. Thanks, Cody.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
You bet. Cody Swanson racing this Friday night against Advanced Tickets are on sale at misracing.com. They also have late models and misfits and the area's largest and best fireworks and ground display. Promises, promises, promises. See it in person Friday night. They do it right at Madison International Speedway. Back with more on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show. Right when we come back, we're talking to a bunch of short track racers about the race cars out here and some stories to tell you'll hear nowhere else.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
This Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, the Alive for 5 Super Late models are back in action with the Trickle 99, presented by Lube USA. See the best Super Late model drivers from 5 states going door to door in heart-pounding racing action with $5,000 to win. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30 with green flag racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now and save at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much. American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports show held in front of a live audience. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500. You see him on MAV TV's coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, the ASA Stars National Tour, and the 500 Sprint Car Tour. The host of our show, Jim Trado.
Thanks again, everybody, for joining us here on a Tuesday night here at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. Come on down and join the racing crowd. Great giveaways after the program. We've got some autographed Rich Bickle Popeyes die-cast cars, another Rich Bickle merchandise and memorabilia that Zimmy brought down to give away tonight. We also have some from Greenfield Gallery Sales on Facebook, 8x10 autographed Rich Bickle photos we have. We'll give these away. We'll talk to Rich about some of these great photos. You can win those tonight. We also have Jones Dairy Farm hats from our next guest, Jesse Bernhagen Racing. He also brought a lunchbox cooler as well to give out from Jones Dairy Farm. We've got some other cool prizes to give away, some Obam hats and other prizes, including Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup bottles. Delicious. We'll finish up the Bonafide Security Solutions short track report in a moment. We want to remind you, Bonafide Security Solutions brings you the short track report for camera and alarm systems for your home or business. Program card access, gun safes. They've got a bunch of different programs available for you. It's a lock. They want to take care of you. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online to bonafidesafe.com. They protect what you value. Ricky Gebhardt pulled off a 3-wide last lap pass for the Slinger Bees feature victory. I'll be working on the make on Slinger Speedway on this Sunday night. I'll be hanging out Slinger. Maybe I'll see this guy win. Johnson & Sons Paving Remembrance Night featuring pro late models, sportsmen, legends, bandoleros, and super bees. Quickly at Dells Raceway Park this past Saturday night. Former track champ Nick Nolden was the UMA Pro Late Model feature winner. Recent show guest Mike Litchfield ran a close second. Weston Marthaler won the pavement modifieds. Dave Trout in sportsman action, and Jordan Hoffman beat Jeremy Bredesen to the Checkers and the Bandits. This Saturday night at Dells Raceway Park, the Trickle 99 Alive for 5 race with the Super Late models, which should have a star-studded field with a winner's check of $5,000. Also racing with them, 602 Outlaw Late Models, Midwest Dash Series, and Legends are in action. Save money on advance tickets at DellsRacewayPark.com. Perfect transition to our next guest. He's our Anderson's Maple Syrup, Pure Maple Syrup Short Track Spotlight Driver of the Week. Anderson's is proud to sponsor Wisconsin racers Bill Bailog and Jason Gross. Try Anderson's in your coffee or tea or on vanilla ice cream. Take it with you with Pure Fuel, Maple Energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer, Anderson'sMapleSyrup.com. Anderson's pure quality since 1928. This week's Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Spotlight driver is late model standout Jesse Bernhagen. Jesse, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
For as long as you've been racing, I have to say, I'm glad we finally got you on. You've been a busy guy and a winning guy lately. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's been a really good start to our year.
4 straight at Slinger Speedway alone.
Yeah, that's wild. We didn't expect that when we went down to Slinger. We've gone on and off down to Slinger since 2015, and we've had a lot of success. But we never expected to win the first 4 races. You know, the cars that are down there are really solid. Tom, Ryan, Tyler, they're all, when you watch the qualifying times and everything like that, we're all really tight. It's really just been a product of me getting to the front first in a lot of the races. So,
or in the case of tracking down Ryan Goodnecht, I caught the replay glimpse on Facebook's Slinger Super Speedway's Facebook page. You got to him and you raced him hard side by side. It was really fun to watch. How much fun was that to drive against Ryan Goodnecht and race for the win and nip him at the line and get it?
Yeah, it was cool. Our car works in the outside down there at Slinger, and it's a lot of fun when the guys that I'm racing with are giving me the outside to be able to go out there and run. Because you can throw it into one and it sticks, and I mean, yeah, the car is hooked up right now. The pass on Ryan was really cool. Obviously, when I crossed the line, I was really excited. Screaming across the radio, everything like that. But the really fun part was once I got back to the trailer and I saw that Racing America and Slinger had shared the video on Facebook and social media already.
Yep.
And within like the first 30 minutes, I was getting messages right away, and I was like, I think this is going to get pretty big. And, I mean, I was able to send off emails to our awesome sponsors saying, like, hey, this video that's got your logo all over it was viewed over 100,000 times. Like, that's some pretty cool stuff. So
yes.
It was a cool memory, and I'm glad that me and Ryan were able to race clean and make a good show of it.
This coming Sunday is the Alive for 5 at a track you know very well, Dells Raceway Park. You've got a chance to race a super late model this year as well. Are you going to be racing at one of your home tracks this coming Saturday?
Yeah, we'll be at the Dells for the Alive for 5 Trickle 99. We will not be in the 28 car, though. We'll be in the 32 car, which is owned by Brian Rogers and Me Motorsports. We started with that team in 2022, and then this year Brian bought a new Port City car from Maine. 2 of our crew guys, Ken and Evan, went out and hauled that thing all the way back from there. And
gotcha.
It's been a little bit of a work in progress. We're running the UMA weekly shows up there, and we're learning as we go, definitely. But, this Trickle 99 will be tough. We hope. I feel like if we can make the show, the car's got the balance to be able to run top 10. But we definitely got to work on our qualifying speed first.
It's going to be everything's going to matter. It's going to be magnified, isn't it? Considering the guys you may see that may only run the line for 5 races, or may just want to run 1 race, and they got really good stuff like yours.
Yeah, definitely. The guys that are coming there are the best of the best. And when you throw, we got a good UMA field, but then you throw Gabe Sommers, you throw Johnny DeAngelis, Jeff Storm. Hopefully he's back. Justin Mondyke. After Milwaukee, I hope he's there too. But I mean, there's a lot of good quality cars that come to those races and make it really tough.
Hanging with Jesse Bernhagen, who's got a ton of laps at Dells Raceway Park. And when I mentioned that, I saw your little fist bump there when I said, "Hey, we got a winner in the Pro Late Models at Dells Raceway Park on Saturday night." You must have a lot of friends and a lot of guys you've raced with a long time there.
Well, we've raced up there consistently every year since 2008. And one of the guys that I've ran with every single year up there is Nick Nolden. So when you said that Nick won, and we were driving home from Jefferson, watched the feature lineups come across, and Nick held off Mike and everything, and that's for whatever reason, me and Nick have always clicked really well. We've always gotten along great. Our families are close, and it's always nice to see the 67 car in victory lane if the 28 car can't be, for sure.
Speaking of family, when was the first time you raced in Wisconsin? Was it? You mentioned Badger Kart Club, maybe was where you got your start?
Yeah, so our story goes way back into the 1990s with my dad helping out John Zimmerman. That kind of transitioned into my dad helping out this guy named Travis Dasso, who's turned into a pretty good little career, right? So Travis's younger brother, Trevor, and I started racing go-karts in Dousman together.
Okay.
And the first go-kart that I ever ran was Trevor's kid cart that I zipped around Badger Kart Club in Dousman, and we did that for 2 or 3 years in the kid cart. Then we jumped into a Yamaha 2-cycle. I raced that. Me and Ross Kinseth raced together up in Shawano at Water and Wheels back in the day. And
nice.
Yeah, so we had a really cool little group of guys that we grew up racing with, and after a bad crash in the Yamaha 2-cycle, we decided to take a break, and then we got into a roll cage car, and that was when the Bandoleros were kind of starting up.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's been like since 2005 now that we've been racing consistently. So.
How many years in late models, and primarily at what tracks?
17 years in a late model, primarily at the Dells for the first 5 of those. In 2012, we branched out and started running the Big 8 Series. We did that for a couple of years, and then we were bounced around at the Dells here and there. And then 2017, we went up and ran Kakana. We did that in 17 and 18. We won the championship in 18. And then we decided, we can move on. Actually, in 2019, I got married, so we took a step back from racing that year. And then in 2020, we went back to the Dells. We ran there consistently for 3 years, and then this past year, we decided to come down to Slinger. So
that's a lot. There's a lot going on. How many different cars did you use over the course of time, or did you? I mean, there's got to be some ways of saying, okay, we don't need to improve the car. We just need to rebuild the car, work through just nut and bolting the thing. Have you gone through a lot of cars at the duration, or you have we've raced 3 cars thus far in that span?
2.
2
cars.
I was a little exaggerated with how many then. 2.
No, we've got 2 cars. The original car is still sitting in the shop. That's the one that my brother Drew races now.
Okay.
I've actually raced it more recently than he has, but he's in the middle of his wedding time. So, but yeah, we've raced. We had a 2006 left-hander that we bought way back in 2008. We ran that until 2012 when we bought our 2007 Pathfinder, and that car has been really good to us. That's the 28 car that you see at Slinger and anywhere else that I take it. So
there's something to be said about that. You know the car.
Yeah.
You also haven't wrecked it enough where it's like it's never going to be good again, because you must do something right where you're winning races, being able to maintain that same race car, know what it's going to do. You can make those adjustments and get that to respond. That's I think half the battle for some of these teams that are out there for the first 6 races of the year going, I got a new car. I can't tell if it wants this or wants that. And it seems like your notebook's pretty much like, I got my notes.
It's dialed in. I was thinking about that on the way down here, because the Super Late Models program is so foreign to us right now, because there's, with the bump stops and bump springs and all the different setup tricks that you can do, that we're learning all of that. We've had this thing dialed in now for 7-8 years, since 2013, 10 years really, that we've been really good with this Pathfinder. And we've got a great relationship with Joe and Jason down there that has really excelled our program a lot. And like you said, that when we're making a change in the Pathfinder, I can tell you a difference between a 1/4 inch on the panner bar or an 1/8 inch here in stagger. Where the Super Late Model, it's like we got to change something an inch for me to even start recognizing, okay, what does this do, what does that do, to really start dialing that thing in.
So was it a challenge you took on, or just an opportunity presented itself, saying, hey, if you want to run my stuff, or hey, can you run Super Lates, or I know exactly what I have here. Did you move that needle, or did somebody move it for you to go super late model racing while being so successful in a pro late model?
Brian approached me one night at the Dells and asked if I wanted to drive his car, and I said yes. It's I don't know, a couple of years back when we were having a little bit of presence with the Kwiecki group. In 2016 or 17, we were a semifinalist in that, and some things just didn't work out where I was kind of saying no to some different things that I didn't think could possibly happen. And basically from there, I kind of said like, no, I'm just going to say yes to things. Like if something approaches it, I'm going to say yes, and we'll figure out the details later. So that's led us down some interesting paths. One night, Dale Schultz asked if I could drive his car, and we ended up in his barn for about 2 weeks, probably getting that car ready.
Okay.
And then we went out and raced his car, and it was fun. And then Brian came along, and
we're talking like racing lawnmowers now. We're talking about boat racing. We're talking about, hey, I've got this 4-cylinder out back. Jesse, you want to drive this thing?
Well, speaking of that, I built a 6-cylinder last year. So yeah, it's anything I can get my hands on. The only thing I won't race is probably a boat.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, Brian approached me and said, hey, do you want to drive it? And I said yes, and the car's been in our shop ever since. And he's been a great car owner. Just kind of, hey, we need this. Cool, we'll get it there when we can. And yeah, that's kind of the story on how that came together.
So if all goes to plan, what's your schedule even just like for the rest of June into July? Do you know exactly what races you're going to go? Are you looking at options right now?
Yeah, no, we were talking about that the whole way down here, like, because we're trying to plan out our summer slate. Maybe we could get work in a family vacation and stuff. And well, that weekend I'm busy. This weekend, I'm here. This coming weekend, I know I'm at Golden Sands on Friday night.
Okay.
Slinger Sunday and the Dells on Saturday. The next weekend I'm Toma on Friday night for the Big 8 race. Saturday, we are undecided on the Tundra race yet, but my brother's at least going to run the 6-cylinder that night. And then Sunday we got Slinger, and then Monday we're going to Rockford. So
wow,
it's on and on and on.
Yeah.
And we can't do that without the guys in the shop. My mom and my grandma and my wife are huge components of that too. But my dad getting the cars ready. Ken Marquardt is a big help as well, putting stuff together and helping
Very
us
cool.
get to the racetrack. So
yeah,
we've got it all planned out.
How many other folks to help you on a given shop night or at the racetrack or are part of your team, so to speak? Is that it? You're the nucleus? Family?
It's very family driven. Mm-hmm. Really, it's the guys in the shop consistently are Ken, my dad, and I. Drew gets out there when he can. He just started a new job down in Madison, so he's a little bit further removed now. But so it's mainly just us in the shop there. And when we go to the track, we've got Evan Gilbert who comes down. I met him up in Neilsville where I work, and he's been a good kid, new to the program. Cameron Keel and Jeff Keel came on this year. They've been a big supporter and able to do whatever we ask them to too.
Good. That's always helpful.
Yeah, it is.
Because then I always say when people I get involved with that might ask me questions, I always like asking the questions. But I learned some things about when I'm asked something that I already know, or I'm the guy that always asks the questions. I guess in my relationship of doing this show for as long as we have, you kind of realize, I guess I do know more about how to talk or how to do this. I imagine you might say that same thing when you have Evan and some of those other guys coming down going, what else can I help you with? Well, let's try this. Let's try that. Have you done this yet? You did that last time. Let's do that again. That kind of nurturing is satisfying in a lot of ways to me. I'm sure it is for you as well.
It's a teaching and learning process for everybody, right? You notice like just very simple things like how to put on a tire that I grew up with. I knew how to do. Well, Evan and Cameron weren't there to see all that going. It's like, well, guys do it this way, and now they know how to do it, and it's totally fine, and we aren't going to have any issues. And it's simplest things like that eventually they'll be able to do what we all can do, right? As long as they stick around, and I think that they will. They've been really great help so far. So
yeah. Jesse Bernhagen hanging out with us. You brought some Jones Dairy Farm hats, thank you, and a cool lunchbox. It's a cooler. They're a good supporter of you. Who is behind your efforts in winning races and running for championships again this year?
Jones Dairy Farm came on last year. They have been an amazing supporter of ours. Really, really incredible. Kenny is our contact guy down there. He's actually neighbors with Jason at Pathfinder, and it all kind of worked out to be a really cool partnership. So a huge thank you to Jones Dairy Farm. You can find them in your local grocery stores. But Schultz Transport's been with us for a long time. Eckert Trucking, Quaid Trucking, all those are in the Marquezine area. Han Farms, Schmidt Masonry, Superheat and Cooling, Circle S Farms, Mass Agronomy Solutions, Snow Tracks, and Outdoor Network. Outdoor Network actually set up our website, bernhagenracing.com, so you can contact them if they are looking for website needs. Deering Lawn Services out of Wanakee, he's an awesome supporter. Really helps us out whenever we win features, which is really nice.
Nice.
The Catman, Terry, has come on this year, so that's really cool for him. Pathfinder Chassis and Advanced Engine Concepts, Dan and Paul have been behind us for a really long time, and we can't do this stuff without them. They're really awesome. Everybody there has been such a great supporter of ours for a really long time. Chris's Floor and Gifts is another one in Marquezan. Their parents, Tom and Alice, don't miss a race. A lot of people can confuse them for my grandparents. They are at every single race, and they love coming, and it's really fun to have them on. So, really appreciate everybody that does stuff for us, and we can't do it without any of them.
There's a lot of work to be done. I'm glad you took some time away to join us tonight. It's been a pleasure having you on. How about I say for Jesse Bernhagen joining us here live in person at Polly's on the Racing Roundup Show. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. Make sure you sign our backdrop as well. All of our guests sign that backdrop as our memento for the 39th season of our show. As we roll on here, we've got Rich Bickle hanging out with us tonight. We also are going to talk to Turk Letizia about the big Diamond 45. Thank you, Robbie Worth. He brought his midget to hang out here on an open trailer to show off here on Polly's Pub and Eatery's front row at 81st and Greenfield. So come on down and join us to see all those cool cars and talk about racing and to maybe win something after the show as well. We'll be right back on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show live from Polly's Pub and Eatery. Stay tuned.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club Points Racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
The Racing Roundup Show is dedicated to showcasing grassroots racers and national stars of our sport. If you're a fan of NASCAR, four-wheel, two-wheel, road racing, drag racing, or the short track scene, you are in the right place. Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show.
We are back on a Tuesday evening here at Polly's Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield, for another edition of our Racing Roundup show. We're back here next Tuesday as well. We again want to thank D'Angelo's Construction and Oak Creek Automotive for sponsoring our first road show at the Milwaukee Mile. It was this past Saturday. Check that show out at any one of our shows at racingroundupshow.com. You're welcome to watch our shows, share it with your friends, and let us know what you think of it. Our social channels are at Racing Roundup on Twitter and Instagram, and we're also hanging out on Facebook. So like our page and watch our shows on demand on racingroundupshow.com. This segment of the program is brought to you by the Midwest Truck Series, which is supported by Toby Race Products and 5-Star Race Car Bodies. Congrats again to Chester Ace on his big Milwaukee Mile Father's Day victory. Their next race for the Midwest Truck Series is Sunday, July 9th at Slinger Super Speedway. For information, visit MidwestTruckSeries.com. This coming Saturday, it's a big race weekend when it comes to 141 Speedway hosting the granddaddy of all the races in the Wabam Dirt Kings Tour. It's the Diamond 45. Let's welcome in the man behind the mission and man behind the wheel, the car sitting out front as well, Turk Letizia. Turk, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thank you, Jim. Thanks for having me back here.
This is a serious mission. You started the Diamond races when your dad was still racing a dirt late model. He has now since passed on, but this tradition continues. It's getting bigger every year, and you're throwing more money at it. $4,500 to win this year.
Yes, indeed. And you know what? It draws a lot of cars, draws a lot of media, and it's really nice to see that, it's still going as strong as it was when we started it. And I like it that it's growing. And like you mentioned, unfortunately, he's passed on, and I'm glad we got a few of them in before he did pass on. So,
with his racing and all the years he raced, I remember seeing the flashy paint jobs, and I remember seeing your flashy paint jobs, and now we see a brand new look to that dirt late model. What was the inspiration behind going to that old number 24?
Well, I was looking through some old photos my dad had, and that was one of my favorite cars that my dad raced back at Hales Corners. I just liked the car, I liked the numbers, and I used to work on it all the time back then. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna, do one more thing for Dad and put one of his race schemes on there. And he had a red 24 and a blue 24, and we chose the blue one. And it was a little late into the season last year, but it gave us a little luck, and been having some fun with it and getting a lot of compliments on how great it looks. So happy to have it.
And you guys have been racing a lot. I mean, racing to a championship, nearly a championship at Plymouth Dirt Track, and now the Wabam Dirt Kings Tour takes you all over the place.
They do. We follow the Dirt Kings, and they take us all over the place. We had a rain out, several rain outs so far this year, but we've got some races in. A lot of cars are showing up and having some fun.
We were talking during the commercial break. We're talking about having to run B-mains, trying to get in the show.
Yeah.
Some guys are, probably sitting there going, what did I get myself into? I wanted to race against these guys, and they're kicking my butt.
Yeah, this year it's been a little tough, and you look at some of these B-main lineups, and you're like, wow, that's a feature lineup out there. And luckily, we've been strong enough to make all the shows and run towards the front, not in the front, but towards the front, and have some fun getting there. But we really look forward to this weekend. We have a 2-day race actually, but so we have a race on Friday, so we got to make sure we're not. Keep our nose clean for that race so that we don't tear the car up and can race on Saturday.
Where are you racing at Friday night this week?
We have a Dirt Kings race at Gravity Park.
Okay.
Gravity Park is Friday, and then hopefully everybody keeps their cars in one piece and can carry on it for the big money at the Diamond 45.
And it's going to be happening this Saturday at the 141 Speedway. Give us more details as we look at the Turk Letizia winners list of things to worry about on Saturday. What's going on?
Well, we want to put our name to that list. There's been a new winner every year, so no one has won it twice yet. So we're looking to add our name on there and have some success there. We're going back to 141 Speedway where it was originally, and I think we're going to have a lot of cars and have a lot of fun and hopefully get to put that crown on again. We won one of the Dirt King races last year, and it felt really good to sit in that gold chair and put the cape on and the crown on and have a lot of fun at Plymouth. That was really good, and we're looking to repeat that and have some fun and hold one of those big checks above our head for $4,500.
Yeah, that's this Saturday. It's a big deal. I'm guessing that might attract some guys that may not run all the time with the Dirt Kings.
It does. So last year, I think a few guys got rained out, and there's threat of rain. But Dennis Erb came up, and it looked like he was going to cherry pick and steal the money. And Taylor Scheffler passed him on the outside, and it was really nice to see. We sponsor Taylor, and he does a great job of racing. And to see him pass Dennis Erb with only a few to go and win the big money was really nice.
When it comes to racing, there's some really good racing all over the area. And this Saturday, I think there's an added need for speed for you and for these guys because that money on the line means a bunch. And racing in honor of your dad, I'm sure it'd be special to bag that big victory finally. Your name's not on that list just yet for the first-time winners.
Not yet, but we're going to put it on there. That's one of our biggest goals is to get it on there and take one of those big checks for one of the bigger races. And We've got the car. We've got the team. We just bought a whole bunch of new tires. You know, we started out the season. We're a little bit lacking in the race car program. We're working on the business stuff, but we got a shipment of new tires in. So anyone who wants to come groove some tires are welcome to come on down and get them ready for this weekend. But
so Jesse Bernhagen talked about apprenticeships. You know, he's got a couple of guys that are trying to work things out. If you want to learn how to groove tires, Turk's got your chance.
That's right.
School's out for the summer. Let's go. Let's groove some tires at Turk's place.
Yeah.
What do you think, like 40 of them, 50 tires?
20.
20? Okay.
So, but with that tire, you know, fuel bill's going up, tire bill going up. But still 20 tires is a lot of tires. But we want to, you know, race a little bit in Illinois if we get the chance.
Okay.
When, you know, we're not racing the Dirt Kings or at Plymouth. So.
Well, think about that. I mean, you got to think way ahead, don't you? If you're thinking about doing something like that, the tires are important. You can't just show up saying, "You guys have tires, right?" And they're like, "No, we got them 2 days ago. We don't have any here."
And that's just it. It's, you know, different series run different rules, different tires, and trying to keep abreast of all that stuff and keep ahead of it. And, you know, now we got some tires. We can race a little this and a little that. When we do pick and choose, we wanted to do a little bit last weekend. We just didn't make it out. We just too busy. But too busy, don't have the right tires, and we lost some of the summer national races we wanted to go to. But there's some left, and we're going to hit some fun races as we get the car working a little bit better.
As we focus to this Saturday, there's a lot going on. You're going to be wearing a couple of hats. I'm hoping you can get that helmet on, just focus when it's time to get to the track, because it sounds like it's going to be pretty intense.
It is, and as long as we keep our nose clean on Friday, I'm looking forward to having some fun and running real well. We like 141. We race well there, so we're looking to put it in victory lane and put that crown on.
Who will be going with you? What do you have sponsorship-wise and crew-wise? I know there's a bunch of people here tonight helping you.
There are.
Think ahead.
A lot of emotional support, but the guy that works the hardest on it, Joe, he's been my guy for several years now, and he puts in a lot of hours and puts up with, you know, us not being there, you know, trying to run the dealership and pay attention to the restaurant and whatnot. And my son, Gavin, he's really putting in the effort this year and trying to help learn things and become a crew member. My wife puts up with a lot of the long hours and not being home, and she comes to the racetracks and brings the dogs. And, you know, we try to do as much as we can as a family, but it's tough. Trying to balance it is tough. Kevin helps me out. You know, my brother, my mother, my sister all support me. And but Source Services came on this year as a new sponsor. We're real proud to have them on the side of the car. And you know, of course, we have Diamond Jim Steakhouse, where you got the best steaks in the city, and Diamond Jim Motor Cars, where you got all the best cars. And we're looking for a few more sponsors. So anyone that wants to groove tires or put their name on the side of the car, we've got room.
So if I wanted to eat a steak or buy a car, where would I go address-wise to find these
You
places?
text me, but DiamondJimMotorCars.com is where you can go and see all our inventory at both of our locations, one right up the road from here, and then DiamondJimSteakhouse.com, and you can go there or call the number, make your reservation, and prime rib, fish fry, big porterhouses, big tomahawk steaks, fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I need to get there. I need to get there. It's not far from where I travel past. I'm like, there it is. But it's at 9 in the morning sometimes. I'm like, you know what? I'll eat a steak at 9 in the morning. I don't care. It's always
we'll cook some eggs on the side with it.
When it comes to this race car, how long have you had this one by chance?
This one's a new one, so we're still figuring it out. It's a brand new car. We had, you know, our old car, and we're like, we had a few mechanical breakdowns at critical points. So we're like, we're going to get a brand new car, and it's brand new at the end of last year. But it's still giving us some gremlins, and we think we've got all the gremlins vacated, and now we're going to move forward and we'll get back to winning like we're used to.
That's what I like to hear, and this show can bring you that luck you need. Not luck, but just that ability to say, you know what, we had fun Tuesday night at the show. Who'd you all bring tonight with you?
I've got my mother and my sister, my wife. I got some longtime family friends, Jim and Joyce out there. I've got my son, obviously. I got Joe, Kevin. I've got some of the guys that help. Jamie Zeider we're pitting with, and Itch used to help me, and Mike used to help. They help run the shop with Joe, and I got Jim and Lynn that come out and help support. So we've got a lot of people that come out and support us in the stands and in the pits and help us go forward. Good luck this Friday. And how about a nice hand for Turk Letizia and his chance to bag the big one? The Diamond 45 is this Saturday. Thanks for spending some time with us on a busy week to get ready and help promote the race.
Hey, thank you very much for having us.
Turk Letizia joining us on the show. Thanks, Turk. Derek Crane is coming by. We got Rich Bickley yet to come. We got some more news in the world of motorsports to share with you. Stick around. This is the Racing Roundup Show on a Tuesday night. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Volansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln in West Dallas.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
Check out our website, RacingRoundupShow.com, to watch show archives, see photos from decades of our program, and links to support our awesome show advertisers. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'd like to remind you here at Polly's Pub and Eatery, there's live bands every weekend, inside, outside. There's bands probably 4 or 5 times a week, sometimes even more than that. Polly'sPubandEatery.com is where you want to go. And come by Polly's every time there's a Milwaukee Brewers home game or a concert that will attract more than 1,000 people. I guarantee you Polly's probably got a shuttle to those venues as well here in Milwaukee. And Summerfest is right around the corner. Stop by to Polly's, get the free shuttle. Just buy a couple of drinks and hang out with your friends here at Polly's, hassle-free there and back on their Polly's shuttles to all these sporting events that the Milwaukee Brewers play and all over the area. They got you covered here at Polly's Pub and Eatery, along with some great food and some great fun each and every day of the week. This portion of the show is brought to you by BMRE Electric Carts and E-Bikes in Random Lake. Check out the new Icon e-bikes that go as far as 25 miles between charges and up to 25 miles per hour in speed. Brad Miller is Wisconsin's only Icon dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options available right now on their Facebook page, BMRE Electric Carts Company. We welcome in now the driver, that beautiful number 14, AJ, sitting out there. The Fat Fro boys have brought a good piece, and we got a good driver with him. He finished top 5 the last 2 times out in the Autometer CK Contractors Wisconsin Wingless Sprints. Let's bring in Derek Crane. Derek, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thanks for bringing the sweet helmet. We got on the J2 Woodworks wood. We have a trophy stand. I want to call it a trophy stand. A bunch of cool names are on there from Wisconsin short track racing. Dirt racer Jim Wirt said, I want to build something cool. I said, man, if we could make it big enough for a helmet, because it's part of our tradition here on the show. We have helmets that we show off on the show because Derek Crane, I think the first time you were on, I said, hey, do you got your helmet with you? Bring that thing up here, man.
Yep, and it's that helmet, and it's seen better days, obviously, racing dirt. But, yeah, Jack's helmet design did a great job. Rouge Helmets built a really good helmet, so, yeah, proud of it.
When it comes to racing, how many different helmets would you have to use over the course of a season? Is this the only one you're using or used?
I have 2 helmets. I bring 2 helmets. One's got a dark visor on it for like qualifying in the heat races, and then this is usually the feature helmet. So
you don't mess around with trying to find the gaskets and losing the screws and stuff in between races.
Yeah.
You just use 2 different helmets.
Exactly.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, so that sleeve that's been on there for about 2 nights, 3 nights now.
All
but the other helmet I'm changing tear-offs all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Well, thanks for bringing the helmet down. It's kind of cool. You have it on the J2 Woodwork stand there where we can, if you want to do something cool to your rec room or whatever, or make a cool Derek Crane tribute wall with a bunch of wood, Jim Wirtz can do that with you at J2 Woodworks. You got a lot going on yourself. A lot of racing going on?
Yeah, a lot of racing, not the way that we planned it, though, so it's race car driver. Our 410 motor's not done yet.
Okay.
So this weekend we're not going to be in the 410 car, which kind of sucks.
That's a big goal of yours. Last year was a huge priority, and I'm sure it was a priority this year.
Yeah, last year it rained out at Wilmot, so made our first USAC start at Angel Park, which that track's fun, but we just never have any luck there, so I was a little worried about that. But had a fun time racing the 410 car there. But yeah, so didn't get the engine done yet. Still not done yet.
Okay.
We don't even have a date yet for it. But back in March, April, I just texted BG and I was just like, "Can I drive your car for a few nights?" And at first he said no, and I was like, "Okay, well that's it." And then the next day he called me and he was like, "Hey, come over to my shop. We'll talk." So it's just really kind of like a month-by-month, race-by-race deal right now, because we're still kind of waiting to see what the date of our 410 engine is. But yeah, I've been having fun in the crates, and those guys are really tough.
So you've been racing the crates for a while. The 410 has been something you've kind of wanted to add to your just, hey, I want to do this now. I want to do more of this, but still run when you can with the Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Series, sponsored by CK Contractors this year.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Klemko and the gang stepping up again. It's pretty cool to have their support. Your brother still races in the Wingless as well. Where have you raced this car this year?
So we only ran it at Wilmot so far this year.
Okay.
Davey Ray drove it a couple weeks ago at Angel Park. So that's kind of a blessing too, is that when I'm not driving it, I'm crewing on that car.
Okay.
So me and Davey get to talk a little bit, and he's kind of taught me some things like I would never think about doing it that way.
Huh.
And then next weekend I jump back in the car and I do it. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. Like I'm going to try that to the 410 next time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's definitely different, well-rounded, just kind of learning all sorts of stuff about the car and racing and stuff like that. So.
And Davey Ray, for those who don't know, we've had him on the show. He's won midget races, won championships. He also won, I think, 2 or 3 races in this car when he kind of guest drove it a couple years ago or last year.
5 in a row.
5 in a row.
Yeah, 5
Well,
in a
I
row.
got to keep better notes,
Yeah.
our better memory nowadays.
Well, we were chasing him for like 4 of them, so I remember very well.
Hey, you finished 3rd and 5th the last 2 tries at Wilmot Raceway, including this past Saturday night. What did you take away from those 2 runs? What could you do different if you had to rewind that VCR a little bit to say, if I'd have done that, or just a matter of getting in position to win these races?
Qualifying, I'm not a really good qualifier.
Okay.
But jumping in this car and kind of feeling this car out, this one actually qualifies pretty well. So we've qualified like 2nd overall. Last Saturday was our worst qualifying effort at 7th, so it's still not bad.
Yeah.
We had to win the heat race to get out of it, or get out of our mess that we kind of were behind the 8 ball.
Okay.
Did that, and we started 9th, and last weekend I didn't feel like we had the handle on the car all the way, but still managed a 5th. So. BG, Al, Fat Fro, they got a really nice car, and my dad, beautiful wife Ashley, friends Dave and Brandon come out all the time. So this year's been a little bit different, where I've had like a lot more help in the pits, so it just takes a lot of other stuff off my mind, so I can focus on setups and stuff.
Kind of refreshing in a way, isn't it?
Yes.
You can actually watch the track during another heat race right before you had to climb in, whereas before you might have been the last guy under the car at certain points.
Yeah, Saturday I was getting into the car with like 3 laps to go in the future before me, and I was like, move the right rear out a little bit.
Yeah.
So
nice.
it's nice.
Good.
Yeah.
So in the car itself, I know you mentioned BG Wood and Al Christopherson, who owns Fat Fro, and that car's been proven. Mm-hmm. Who works on the car during the week? Whose shop is it in?
It's at BG's.
Okay.
And BG and Jack, they clean the car. They cleaned it this morning, so it's still a little wet, but it's shiny.
Looks great.
It looks very pretty.
Thanks for bringing it down.
Oh, yeah. And then I usually show up on like a Friday, and then we'll remove tires, demount tires, put new tires on, and then get everything almost ready to load, and then Saturday we load and go.
Gotcha.
Which, a little different than racing the 410, racing down in Indiana. Kind of have to like have everything ready Thursday night.
Yep.
First thing Friday morning, you drive 4.5 hours down, so it's a little bit more relaxing and just... It's a good pace, but I just don't miss the 410.
So when the 410 motor's done, let's look at that day.
Yes.
It's going to be like a birthday, Christmas, all wrapped in one for you, I'm sure. It's like, hey, your motor's ready. Really?
Yes.
It's like the greatest gift ever. When it gets here, what are you guys going to do?
Yeah, if my friends don't hear back from me, I'm okay. I'm rushing to get the thing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends really. Like if it's going to be until October or whatever, we're probably just going to keep it until next year.
Okay.
But if we can get it before September, we're probably going to go down there a few times just to shake the bugs out of it, make sure everything's ready for next year. We should be getting about 30 nights on that motor, so when it's done, we'll have quite a bit of races to go.
Right. So your focus is primarily racing with the 410 non-wing sprint cars in Indiana, USAC shows or Bloomington weekly shows, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The 410 is just violent. Everything about it is just violent. It's so much fun. 900 horsepower, 1,400 pounds. You're throwing it in backwards. You got the front wheels coming off the ground, going into the corner. It's just, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Any race car driver should just experience it just once, even if it's a ride along. But there's nothing like it. And the crates are really good. They're just a little bit heavier. They're a little bit lower on horsepower.
Yeah.
So the 410 definitely helps your crate program. To me, in my experience, the crates don't really help your 410, but they keep your reaction times up because everything happens just as fast.
Yeah. And reading the track and saying, okay, when I go into one, I saw I want to see if that developed into something or I should avoid that kind of thing.
Yeah.
All that sensory stuff.
Oh, yeah. And then in Indiana, we can run in-car shock adjusters. So, when you run up here, you have to kind of think ahead of where your shocks are and where you want it to be in 20 laps versus right off the bat. So, that was kind of like a step back again. Like, I got to have the car a little tight at the beginning of the race so that it's better at the end. But, yeah, the crates, Wilmot, their tracker, they're doing an amazing job. The track's been amazing, rough, big curb, slick. It's just so much fun.
Where are you racing next?
We're going to be racing at the USAC show with the crate, but we're going to be racing with the Wisconsin Wingless.
Gotcha.
And then it's kind of, my motor's not done, so it kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's like, well, then I get to watch those guys race, and that's still really good.
And you could do this to okay, what is Brady Bacon doing to his car between the A and the between the feature and the A? What's he doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Try to pit next to someone that's pretty good in the USAC world.
Yep.
And then Sunday I'm going to be wrenching on Davey Ray's 410 car at Angel Park.
Okay.
So we're going to work some more. So that's a benefit too with working with the Fat Fro guys and everything.
You mentioned some folks that are here with you, your wife, your family. Who's on the car? Who else helps you?
Got to thank Kroger Delivery, Next Gen Pumps, RevTech Manufacturing, Bain Nelson, Rouge Helmets, Apt Electronics, Open Fenders, ZMAX Oil, Jack's Helmet Design, Daybreak Church, and then on the crate side, BG, L, Fat Fro, Don's Machine Shop, beautiful wife Ashley. My dad, Mark, my mom, Gail. My mom has a problem when drivers I like to thank my wife, and then they just go on to the next person. She's like, they have a name, so just say their name. So I'm just going to start saying everyone's name.
Good call, Mom. Good call. Yeah.
Andy in here, he works on another team, but when we come out here for World of Wheels and stuff, he comes out and helps us with the car. So huge thanks to him. Dave Schutzen, Brandon Horswell. And just, we got a lot of people that have been coming out more since last year. They wanted to come out, but I was down in Indiana. But now that I'm in Wisconsin more, they're actually coming out. So that's really nice, too. So all those folks.
Wow.
But, yeah.
That's a lot of folks to get involved.
A lot of folks.
Stay involved and go race for wins, man. That's kind of neat. You get all the chances.
Oh, yeah. It's a blast.
Because you could have been going, well, when that motor gets done, I can go racing. So I'm glad to see you guys are making obviously the best possible way to go racing with these guys.
Yeah. I've told BG, I was like, thank you, because I'd probably be going insane right now if I wasn't driving something. But, next year I really want to drive every single division for one night at Wilmot, a Bandit, Street Stock,
Pat Haney's sitting over here. He did a Hales Corner Speedway one night. I think he ran all divisions. He ran, I don't know if he ran a modified and a late model and a sportsman and a Hales Whale. I couldn't tell you, but
yeah,
you want to talk about how many Snickers bars you need to eat in between races to stay up to that,
Yeah, and
pace.
helmets with tear-offs.
Yeah, you might need more than two.
Yeah, but that's something that's a goal of mine for next year. Just not necessarily one night, but just throughout the year, just jump into every kind of car and just experience everything because racing's awesome.
And we should probably promote that on the show. We should probably get ahead of that and say, hey, you want to sponsor the right rear tire on the sprint car? Let's go for this. If you want to be involved in the Bandit, let's go.
Yeah. And every division at Wilmot does a really good job too. So it's always fun to watch and watch the track and watch them.
Yeah.
Where
can we find you on social to keep track of what's going on?
Crane Racing LLC, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
Crane Racing LLC, CRANE.
Yes.
Got to get that right.
Exactly.
Get it right.
And Monday nights we go live 5:30 p.m. Central.
Yeah, you got your own little show now. What's going on with that?
Yeah, right. Well, I was like, I can never.
I'm excited
do
to see you hanging out with racing friends talking racing on a Monday night.
Yeah. We got a bunch of. We're actually going to have our first non-driver come in on Monday, so I'm really excited about that. I'm just trying to do it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some racers' moms, some girlfriends. Just kind of that to get their perspective on, when the driver's out there, what are they thinking?
Yeah.
Because, my mom will tell me that I should be running on the infield tires, but I'm like, no, you got to be up on the top, banging the wall down, but she doesn't like that. I don't know if Ashley does, my wife. If she likes me on the top or the bottom. Oh, top. Okay, so I married a good one. Yep,
right.
married a good
Yep.
one. She wants me up top.
Yep.
But yeah, so we just had a driver in that, Michael Sullivan. So we talked last night for an hour, and it was just really good.
So it's a show you host.
Yes.
At your place.
Mm-hmm.
Where can we see it?
On Facebook Live, on Crane Racing LLC's page. And then after we're live, we post it, and so you can rewatch it and all that stuff.
Yeah, cool.
But
yeah, great. Glad to see. And that gives you probably different perspectives as well.
Yes.
And like I can do for the last 30-some years, I can ask anything I want. It's kind of
Exactly.
nice.
It is.
And you hope you hope they learn something, which I'm always
Yeah.
curious to learn more.
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 2 months now, ish.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have to prepare any questions. I
Well,
get the questions.
I always try to,
I get
Right.
the questions.
Right,
know.
right.
So it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, keep up the great work in every aspect.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How about that for Derek Crane joining us here, star of Monday Nights on Crane Racing LLC on Facebook. Host of the show, you got to keep it up.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks a lot for coming down with everybody as well.
Oh, thank
Bringing
you.
the
Thank
car.
you for having us.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
We're coming back. We've got, actually, we're doing this right now, aren't we? We're doing Bill Howland in the Groove. He went to Kaukauna and State Park Speedway. This is this week's edition of Bill Howland in the Groove. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Bill Holland in the Groove at Wisconsin International Raceway. We're here for the first night of the Red, White, and Blue State Championship Series, one of the iconic events in Wisconsin motorsports. This championship goes back more than 50 years, bringing top competition to one of the toughest short tracks in the state. No active driver can match the Red, White, and Blue Series success of five-time champion Lowell Bennett. At 65, still a strong contender.
I know I'm the oldest driver to win a feature and the oldest one to get fast time here. So, I'd like to be the oldest one to get red, white, and blue.
Three-time champion Jeff Van Oudenhoven is another local favorite who figures to be in the running for the title.
Just with the history of Dick Trickle and Shear and Jim Weber and got all the greats that ran here. And to have my name on a trophy a couple of times, that's pretty nice.
In qualifying, it's Maxwell Schultz setting fast time for the night. The two-time red, white, and blue champ in his first season driving the Chase Motorsports 47 car.
They got fast cars. Dennis and Julie, they build good stuff, and so it's taken a little bit to learn everybody and get the feel for it, but we're getting there, and so far 4 weeks in, I can't complain.
The format for the championship changes over the years. Tonight, the super late models will run twin 33-lap features. Qualifying points and feature finishes determine the overall winner for the night. Up front in the first, it's Jordan Thiel in the white 2 car and Lowell Bennett on the high side. Bennett making the outside line work and takes the early lead with a fast field behind him. Brent Strelka in the 52 runs third, ahead of Gabe Summers in the 15 and Sawyer Efforts in the 2. Battle for sixth on back has Jeff Van Oudenhoven, Andy Monday in the 10 car, and fast qualifier Maxwell Schultz in the 47. Bennett has led from the drop of the green flag, but Thiel is right there. Last lap, and Isaac Therian in the 17 spinning right in front of the leaders. It's Lowell Bennett taking the win in the first super late model feature on the night.
Got a little hairy at the end when they had with 2 lap cars, but we still pulled it off, and it's kind of cool to be the oldest winner here. It's pretty fun.
In the pro late models, it gets wild coming to green. Brian Henry in the 7 into the inside wall. Brent Strelka doing double duty tonight goes around in the 52 car. In this division, Appleton's Brian Monday has been as good as it gets in recent years. He's got the lead, but watch the 52. Brent Strelka coming back from that spin to take the top spot from Monday. No one is going to run more laps than Strelka tonight. He was strong in the super late models and first to the flag in the pro late model feature.
It's just a special night, red, white, and blue, just knowing who's all been here over the years and the competition that we get to race with.
Our second super late model feature has fast qualifier Maxwell Schultz in the 47 and Sawyer Efforts in the 2 on the front row. Efforts was second in qualifying. Points from time trials and the twin features determine the overall winner on the night. Schultz in the Chase Motorsports 47 leading Efforts, with Gabe Summers in the black 15 in third. Summers, the ASA Midwest Tour point leader, ran strong in the Red, White, and Blue Series last year. And we're under caution. It's the 45, three-time Red, White, and Blue champion Jeff Van Oudenhoven to the pits. Back to green flag racing.
And new leader, Sawyer Efforts, taking the lead from Schultz. Sawyer Efforts won the WIR season opener, and he's just taken over the top spot. Gabe Summers, right there in third behind the 47. Former WIR champion Andy Monday runs fourth in the 10 car. He leads Lowell Bennett in fifth. As the laps wind down, Sawyer Efforts has this field covered, taking the checkers in the second feature and the overall red race winner. He's on top of the points in the red, white, and blue series.
We're just really excited to see some progress from all the hard work we've been doing for a lot of years, and it's finally working out now. So just going to keep pushing and do the best we can every week and hope it continues this way.
At State Park Speedway, the Flip Merwin Memorial is a special night at the foot of Rib Mountain. More than 20 years have passed since Flip Merwin's fatal crash in January of 2003. The race his memory inspires, one of the highlights of the season here at State Park Speedway. Longtime racing supporter Ralph Merwin leads the way in opening ceremonies.
20 years that went so fast, it's unbelievable, and had some good races out here and some big names winning races, and they put a good show on here.
Wausau's Brock Heinrich carries Flip Merwin's name and memory on his 52 car every race night.
This race is always the one that's circled. It's like our Daytona 500 in the middle of the season. We don't want to win any other race more than we want to win this one, so we're under pressure.
Four-time State Park Speedway champion Mark Mackesy has 3 wins in the Memorial, and he's raced in all of them.
I would race it for nothing for Ralph and the family. We grew up, together.
3-time defending State Park Speedway champion Justin Mondyke is gunning for a 4th consecutive Flip Merwin Memorial win and sets fast time on the night.
We were so close for so many years, and luckily these last few seasons we've been able to get 3 in a row, so it'd be really cool to get number 4. It's been kind of a rough start to the year for us. We've had good speed, just unfortunate luck and racing deals, so hopefully we can come out on top tonight.
The 75-lap Flip Merwin Memorial feature has State Park regular Noah Gajewski in the 10 and Tucker Miller in the 27, bringing the field to green. Miller, driving the Tate Baumer ride, takes the early lead, with Jevin Goralski moving the 20 car up into the second spot. Miller back behind the wheel after spending the past several seasons as a consultant and crew chief. Goralski, 15 years old, in his first year in a super late model, and taking over the top spot. We've got some heavy hitters farther back. Justin Mondyke in the 44, Travis Volm in the black 76, Jason Weinkauf's purple 76 car, Brock Heinrich and Race Hayes right behind. Up front, Jevin Goralski, the 15-year-old rookie in his 3rd super late model race, will lead the field to a competition caution at lap 50. We'll find out very soon if anyone has anything for the 20 car. Back to green with Jevin Goralski in the 20, his brother Colton on the outside in the 56 car. Jason Weinkauf showed speed in the first 50 laps. He's now up to second. Weinkauf, a former champion at Marshfield and Golden Sand Speedway, chasing the rookie Jevin Goralski, who's having the night of his young racing life. Leaders moving up on the slower car of Mark Mackesy. Weinkauf makes his move on Goralski. Jevin Goralski won't give up the lead without a fight. Weinkauf looks to have the edge on the inside. He will make the pass. Coming to the checkers, it's Jason Weinkauf winning his first Flip Merwin Memorial Super Late Model feature.
I saw an opportunity to get underneath him, and as you can say, I saw an opportunity and I took it. And it worked, and couldn't be more thrilled to pull off that move and get this win.
Last season, Jason Weinkauf finished second in the Super Late Model point standings here, even though he didn't win a feature race all year long. This year, he takes the checkers in one of the biggest races of the season. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who makes this program possible. We'll see you next time we go in the groove on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks, Bill Holland. Hope you enjoyed that portion of the program. When we come back from this final commercial break, we're going to talk to Rich Bickle. Rich is in the house. We're talking to the Wisconsin short track legend and author. Richie's on the show next on the show. Come on back with us.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
This Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, the Alive for 5 Super Late models are back in action with the Trickle 99, presented by Lube USA. See the best Super Late model drivers from 5 states going door to door in heart-pounding racing action with $5,000 to win. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30 with green flag racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now and save at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's Escorted NASCAR Racing Tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express, moving and storage, will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
Like our show on Facebook and share our content with other race fans. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming shows too. Join racers, other race fans, and win prizes. Now let's get back to more of the Racing Roundup Show.
We're back hanging out with you on a Tuesday night. Next Tuesday, we got another great show for you. We have ASA Stars National Tour driver Barrett Palimas, who's working with Casey Johnson this year. We have Dell's Raceway Park 602 Outlaw late model veteran racer Larry Johnson back behind the wheel after 20 years away. He ran a sportsman at Slinger for a long time. Midwest Truck Series standout Kevin Zelazinski and American Super Cup champion late model racer Sean Urich. They're on our show next Tuesday here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. Right now, we're happy to have this gentleman joining us here. He got here before I did. He's been hanging out on the patio here at Polly's, hanging out with Darcy, just chilling, and it's great to have you back on the show for the first time this year. Hope to have a few more times. How about a big hand for Richie Bickle back at the Racing Roundup Show? Richie, thanks for making some time.
Glad to be back.
What have you been doing with your time these days?
It's a long story.
Not racing a race car, but plenty busy.
Yeah, bought a bunch of property in Costa Rica and developing that, and still run the clubs and just kind of the normal thing. Been going to more racing than I did last year. Last year was hard to go. I went to like 5, and I think this year we've been to 7 so far.
All right.
So,
I saw you in the stands at a couple of them. Were you at the mile yet on Sunday?
Yeah, yes. I mean, you look back at 45 years of racing, and probably one of the saddest things, I never did win a race at Milwaukee. Out of the 226 tracks I've raced at, that's one I always wanted to win. We had a shot in the truck deal in 97, and I should have won 2 short track races there, and something always breaks when they're fast, and just kind of normal luck. But that's kind of, after all these years, winning 500-plus features, not to win one here is kind of tough.
You got a chance to race some cool trucks for some cool people. This truck is Mark Goodman's. You wanted to bring it down. You signed the windshield already. Racing for the King, Richard Petty. That's got to be kind of cool to know that you're part of that short list of drivers that got a chance to race for the King, especially in the Truck Series.
Well, it's kind of funny that people don't probably know this, but 1992, his last race was Jeff Gordon's first race, and I'm the one that Richard ran into and caught fire. And I still have the bumper cover. I took it to Daytona the next year, and I said, hey, would you sign this for me? And he goes, yeah, I'll sign it for you. And I said, can you write the last thing the King crowned? He wouldn't do that.
Because he hit you in the tail.
And he caught fire. And I mean, Trickle, Waltrip, and Schrader wrecked off of turn 4. I slowed down, and I wasn't even close to the wreck. And about 14 minutes later, Richard come around wide open and hit me. So, and I'm like going, oh, my God, who hit me? Next thing he's going by me in a ball of fire. I'm like going, oh, boy, this ain't going to be good.
Yeah.
So what's ironic is that was in 92. So in 90 and 96 or in 95, the Kleenex deal that ended my career right down the road here.
Yeah.
Bobby Hamilton says, hey, I think Richard wants you to drive his truck. And so we were at Rockingham. And
So in 1995, your deal to run your own team in Xfinity went away, and then you got a call from Hamilton saying, hey, call the king.
Well, no, we were at Rockingham, and he goes,
okay.
Richard wants to talk to you. So I went in the motorhome at Rockingham, and we're sitting there, and we're talking, and I go, do you know who I am? And Richard goes, yep. He said, you're the son of a bitch that backed me in Atlanta.
I backed into you.
and I knew right then that we'd get along great.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just ironic how you look back at things and how things happen. So, you know, that year was incredible for us. We should have won a couple of races in the truck deal. His brother built the motors, and they were absolutely horrible. But I had Arrington motors in my short track car, and we ran 14 races and won all 14.
Whoa.
Yeah, we won the Nationals here at Slinger. We won the Derby. We won everything with that
14
car.
out of 14.
Yeah, never lost a race. I told Richard I wouldn't leave the next year if he let Arrington build the motors, and he goes, well, blood's thicker than water. And I didn't really know the whole story between him and his brother and putting right side tires and having bigger motors to win his 199th and 200th race. So I kind of, after years of following the whole story out, I was like, yeah, okay, I get it then. But it was hard for me to leave him. Great guy. Well, here's another crazy story. In 1976, my mom and dad took me to Daytona and got to watch the 500. And my mom stood up on the seat and had an 8mm camera, and they had the Pearson Petty crash. She had it perfectly.
Yeah.
And I told my mom and dad that day I summer race at Daytona, and that was in 80 or 76. So I made that true in 89. So, but then I got to run the 590. So that's pretty cool.
All right. Speaking of Daytona, what's the story behind you going to Daytona with a race car without a motor in it?
Well, in 89, Jim Doyle, through Carl Wagner, he said, hey, he wants to go run this cup car. So my dad, he built a lift in his trailer, and we went to Charlotte for the first race and made the show. And went to Atlanta and made the show. And Jimmy Means didn't make the race, but all Seltzer in the car. And so we took the car down to North Carolina, put Oldsmith body on it, and brought it back to shop and got ready to go to Daytona. Well, we didn't even have an engine. Carl didn't build restrictor plate motors. And we get down there, and we had no motor. And there was one available Mike Fryer built, and he said it's not very good. It's like 25 horsepower off. And I'm thinking, well, what's that? You know, I don't know. And they said every 7 horsepower down. 7 horsepower is like a mile an hour. So we're 3.5 miles an hour off the pace.
Ooh.
So this goes back to another crazy story. In '89, we're at Slinger, and Alan Quickie comes up and for the Nationals, and he's like in my way. And I walked up to Alan, and I said, Alan, this isn't your house no more. This is my house. Get the hell out of my way. So ironic that we go to Charlotte and make the race.
Yeah.
Well, there was 65 cars to make the cup race.
Wow.
And we're parked underneath the hauler. So we get a garage stall. Mm-hmm. Who do I get parked next to? Alan Kowicki. He wouldn't even acknowledge I was a human being. It was quite funny. So he wouldn't even talk to me, wouldn't look at me, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I said, well, I'm in your house now. And I got it, you know.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, long story short, in 90, I get hooked up with him in the 125.
1990,
Yeah,
Daytona,
at
February.
Daytona, yeah.
Yes.
And he picked me up 8 miles an hour. So people don't realize I had the car so free anyway to try to get any speed out of it. Well, 8 miles an hour, it felt like 50. I mean, I'm sideways in the corner. I can look in the mirror, seeing the smoke blowing off the right rear. And he dragged me up through there, and we finished 15th and made the 500.
Wow.
Well, after that race, he come over. He goes, oh, my God, you did such a great race. We got to get hooked up in the 500. I said, I can't. I'm going to die. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, I can't hold my breath that long. And it just, you know, it's ironic how then all of a sudden we become friends. When I moved down south in 92, he called me up one day at terminal, and he said, hey, would you come move some stuff for me? And I remember walking in the shop, and Paul Andrews was like, what is he doing here? You know, and Alan said, everything's fine. You know, I moved some stuff for him, and we went to the Wilkesboro Cup race, and he gave me the setup for it. And if I would have had a pit crew back then, we would have won the race. I mean, I was the fastest car on the racetrack the whole day. We unlapped ourselves. I mean, but every time I pitted, we had my old normal crew, and back then every pit stop was 20 seconds. Well, mine was 40.
Gotcha.
And I'll never forget, about a month after the race, Dale Jarrett come up and he goes, man, every time you pitted at Wilkesboro, I pitted behind you. I go, why? He goes, I had to laugh at something. Something happened to his car. And I'm like, well, he goes, your crew is incredible. And, being smart, you know. I'm like, well, why don't you give me your crew? We'd have won the race. He goes, oh, I never thought it. We should have.
Yeah.
We would have. I mean, the Wilkesboro, the race ran 400 laps out of yellow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy on a small racetrack.
Yeah.
But that car, I mean, we never changed the setup. Alan gave me the whole setup, and the thing was really fast. But the April 1st day in '93 was pretty tough.
Yeah, Alan Quickie passed away 30 years ago on April 1st of '93, and this past March 31st and April 1st, we had to do a couple of our shows. We did one at UW Milwaukee at the Alan Quickie Garage at his alma mater. They have a scholarship set up there, and they have a nice display in their lobby, and it's a thing that they award every year thanks to Thelma and the foundation of Alan's estate. They're also still involved with the Quickie Driver Development Program, and they're still involved with Alan Quickie Park. So we did a show on 30 years to the day of Alan's passing on April 1st, and Mark Goodman had the idea, and he said, hey, I'm opening up the place. Hope it's a celebration. And it was. It was kind of cool to go back then. And it's hard to realize how hard you worked through those years and the chances you got as you look back on Alan finally saying he accomplished all these great things and winning a championship. I mean, I was asked, I think that week, do you think Alan had it in the bag at Atlanta? He was one of the three. I was like, nope. I did not believe he had, based upon going against Bill Elliott and Davey Allison. And it seems like, Rich, I'm drawing a parallel here because when you got a chance to race with really good equipment, you shined. When you were in the next best level of equipment, you had to work that much harder. It seemed like you did the best you had on any given day with what you got a chance to race with in NASCAR.
Well, you look back at Alan's deal, and it's like when he left Wisconsin, I thought he was nuts. Mm-hmm. He wasn't even a top 10 guy here. And we're like, you're moving down south? Well, he sure proved all of us wrong.
Yeah.
And I never really knew the man. I mean, he was kind of like Joe Shear, really quiet, off to himself, but he was the engineer type guy, and you really never got to know him. It wasn't like the rest of us would, drink beer and chase women and have fun. Alan was just Alan, And after you get to know the guy, I mean, I'll never forget going into his shop, and we're up in his office, and he starts asking me questions about cup setups. I'm like, well, I've only been down here 2 years. You're running up front. I'm running 25th, and you're asking me. But that's how intense he was. And he asked me things, and I give him my answers. And I think a couple things that he actually told me that I told him I thought actually worked for him. So that's kind of funny.
In reality, if you look at how focused Alan was and how he was the ship captain crew director, Paul Andrews is a great crew chief, but Alan made a lot of those calls. And I think looking back in just that one instance you shared with us just now, it might have been Alan's way of saying, what if I did this? I don't have many people I can ask this and trust their answer and say, am I crazy for thinking this, or what would you do if this happened? And I don't think I didn't see a lot of camaraderie with Alan and other drivers. I saw them talking and being part of the Ford program with Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace. But I think Alan always, my opinion, didn't know the man myself that well, I think he was always after that, what can I learn from someone? Not in the friend way, but more like how can I make myself faster way kind of thing.
Well, you look back at it, and, he won that race from a seat. He had it pinpointed down. That's what it was. And, it was just cool to get to know him finally and be part of that. And it just, being from Wisconsin, we were, I think that was a part of it why he asked me to help a little bit. And, he helped me, and off we went.
We've had an opportunity to have you on the show several times. It was during the farewell season, and we also had this cruise we talked about, but COVID kind of had something else to do about that. It's coming back. You're getting on a boat January 7th through the 14th. It's the Bickel Bon Voyage, the only Bickel Bon Voyage. We talked about it before, but Making Memories Travel has got you on a boat again. You're dragging Scott Hansen with him. Scott Hansen said he's got Jerry Gunderman going. There's other racers climbing on here. It's going to be kind of fun hanging out on a boat for 7 days on the Bickel Bon Voyage this coming January.
Richie Waters is coming and a bunch of other people, but I think we got 65 cabins sold so far. And, again, we'll probably get 100 before it's said and done, but we're going to have a question and answers, deal on the boat. And if people like to hear stories and it'll be quite interesting. I've got a couple.
So do we? Yeah, you're going to wait for the boat to tell them, aren't you? You're going to wait for the Bickel cruise.
Well, here's a little tease. So in '95 we had Kleenex as a sponsorship, and there was a bar right down the road. I lost $8.5 million from Thursday to Monday for a sponsorship. So I'll tell that whole story how that deal went down. What's funny about it, I really had nothing to do with it. And that's unusual for me.
Yeah.
Because I was in the middle of a lot.
You've done yourself some good there. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, it's karma. All this stuff I should have got in trouble for, I never did. And this time I didn't have nothing to do with it, and I got in trouble.
So a question and answer session. So is that like Ask Rich Anything, can you think?
Yep, 100%.
All right.
Yeah, truth will be told on every situation. And what's funny is Scott's coming on, and I remember, I guess the first time I went to Kaukauna, he kind of roughed me up, and I was mad at him, and I was going over to rip him one, and all of a sudden he told the story that he got out and was telling Richie Waters, he was screaming at him like, "Why'd you set the car up like this?" and trying to get me off his back. And I didn't know that story, and I kind of laughed.
So he was actually mad because your car was fast.
You
were kind of like racing with him. He's like, "Why is this guy even getting near me?"
No, he didn't do. He kind of running me really bad, and I was really mad at him, so I was gonna go chew his butt. And then he got out of the car and was screaming at Richie that he set the car up so bad. I must have felt bad for him. I don't remember the story, but there'll be a lot of stuff like that.
The beauty of it is Scott will be there to answer that other half of the question. Like, what really did happen? He'll have his version. Then,
well, he did answer it. I just didn't know. I don't remember the story.
So that's part of that racers with that S question answer.
Well, like I seen Al Schillhiller the other day at the race Sunday, and I said, "Do we ever have any problems?" He goes, "Yeah, you wrecked me at Ileana." Like, I don't even remember it.
Oh, wow.
And that's one of the guys that, I never would have thought in a million years that, I was, Al was just a great guy and great racer and everything he drove. And I don't remember that happening, but he was very adamant that.
He knew right away.
I said I had to have been 87 because I won in 88. I remember on the last lap around Trickle in the infield, I said, I'm not going to lose again. And Dick wasn't really happy with me, but, I was sick of losing.
But if you were in front of him and you were in the infield, he
was underneath me, and I just made sure that he didn't get by me. Let's put it that way.
Okay. We don't have the 8 millimeters to show that off.
No, not that.
So of all the racing you've done, are people bringing you stuff like, hey, remember this? Like I get the good fortune, thanks to Ralph Hibbert, I can show pictures of Rich and say, what year was this and where did that happen?
That's 81 at Rockford with a body I built myself from used aluminum from Dorsey Trailer.
You hand lettered your race cars. Is this one of them?
No, that's not.
All right. Okay. Just checking. Next one. These pictures we're giving away, by the way, after the show, thanks to Greenfield.
And I brought a bunch of die-cast that people can have,
Yes,
too.
he autographed some Popeyes die-cast. Thank you, Rich, for doing that. This one?
I think it's at Madison.
Yep.
Terminal truck, and it had to be 93 or 94 must be the Nationals.
This one of my favorite paint jobs.
That was a great year. That was the start of winning a lot of races in 87. People don't know. Here's another crazy story. In 87 and 88, I got the Miller deal, and I got $4,000 from the distributors and all the old beer I could go get. Well, I had Shear's old cube van, and we'd drive down here, and we'd load about 660 cases of beer up in it. Well, we ran 5 nights a week, so on Monday and Wednesdays when I didn't race, I had a lot of free help at the shop. They didn't help much. They drank a lot of beer.
This Black Beauty.
Well, that was Scotty Olmerman's car, and I'm not sure. I think I won the Nationals in that car. Maybe I don't know if that's the one or not, but I drove Scott's car the one year and won the Nationals.
So these are just some pictures we have. I also want to ask you about another memory when it comes to racing. You said your short track car you have won $1 million. Over $1 million.
It was when I started RBR building race cars in '92 in North Carolina. The first customer wanted a perimeter car, and I said, "What do you want a perimeter car for?" And I called him 3 different times, and yep, I want a perimeter car. So I built him a perimeter car, and we got done with it. And he's like, he gets there and he goes, "Well, everybody says I shouldn't have a perimeter car." I'm like, well, I've been only telling that for 2 months. So I said, well, I'll take the thing apart. I'll build you a new car, straight rail car. I'm not taking the interior out of it. I'm not taking the brake lines off it. And we put it up in the mezzanine. And I've asked Zimmy this question because he was down there. Then I said, I don't remember why we needed a car really fast. So anyway, we needed something. I don't think we wrecked it. Maybe Gene sold a car, but we put the car together in a couple days, and that car won, 3 snowball derbies, and it probably won 400 features, and just it won the big end of the year derby in '99. We won $147,000, and I still have the car. And we won the Nationals with it here in 12. I think won Rockford in 13 with it. And I actually cut it apart and made a straight rail car up to lighten it up. And me and my girlfriend put the body on it, and we took that body off and put it on the short track car that I destroyed at Slinger 2 years ago. But I still have the car, and I've been trying to find a black 92 to 94 Thunderbird nose.
All points
nose
bulletin here. What kind of nose you need and what year?
Nose and tail off a black Thunderbird in 92, 94. I've been looking for 4 years. Through you, talked to Mr. Melius, and I got 2 vehicles and a bumper cover I'm donating to the Hall of Fame. In that car, if I want to put it back to the original terminal trucking, And I've been looking for. I got a body. I got a Thunderbird body, but it's a white nose and tail. I want to put it back to the original black, and not paint it or wrap the nose and tail.
So if you know somebody's got a 92 to 94 Thunderbird body,
five-star,
whether it be a sportsman, maybe it was something that you ran as a super late and you got a body panel from it, or maybe you got a buddy that's got a couple of cars that are under mothballs and under wraps. That's specific, but that's the nose and tail you want to put on the car.
Yeah,
to make it back
to original and paint it black and put it in a turbo trucking car.
You and I were also talking before this show about maybe coming on again, but I also want to talk about what you might be doing sometime soon with the truck that looks kind of like that one, but has the 17 on the door. You nearly won the truck championship with.
Well, in '97 we had the truck championship one, and I'm not sure to this day why Darrell decided not to rebuild the motors the last 3 races.
Darrell Waltrip, by the way, one of the diehard 17 truck that you were racing.
We blew up the last 3 races, and it cost me a championship. And we had 4 sponsors signed up for me to be the cup driver. I just picked whatever sponsor he wanted. And how do I want to say this? I think his ego was so bad that he had a 15-race deal for himself. That's all he wanted to do. He had the diehard deal for whoever was going to drive it the next year. Plus, he had 4 sponsors to pick from for me. He turned them all down, and he lost the truck deal because Paul Bafko from Sears, if he doesn't do what he's going to say with me, he's taking the deal. So he lost his whole business and his whole race team because he didn't have the money to race it. Well, there's more of the story. This should be more on the cruise side.
On the cruise. We'll tell you how to get tickets.
Yeah, me and Darrell didn't part ways very well, but April 1st, I got a phone call from my buddy that said, hey, Darrell wants to give you the truck. And I said, April Fools. I hung the phone up. And in the meantime, this number called me twice, and I met the guy in Daytona, the guy that built the Bobby Isaac Superbird and the Donnie Elsa car that they went and did the speed record deal with.
Yeah.
And well, he had Darrell's trucks and his ASA car and some stuff at his shop.
And
he goes, hey, Darrell wants to give you the truck. I'm like going, man, this is just too ironic. Well, then I'm talking to him. I get a text. And I get a text, 651. Who's that?
615, right? That's Nashville. That's the Nashville area code?
I think it's 651.
Okay, all right, whatever.
But anyway, and here's Darrell. Hey, buddy, I know things didn't end well with us. Yada yada yada. You did a great job and should have drove for me longer. And I want to give you this truck. So I'm donating the truck to Hall of Fame. I think we're going down money to pick it up.
Wow.
Try to get the short track car done and the bumper cover from Petty that's signed. So that'd be kind of 3 things that I can add to the Hall of Fame. They're pretty cool.
So the Southeast Wisconsin Short Track Hall of Fame is going to be receiving a truck you're going down to get that you drove that Darrell Waltrip's going to give you. And you want everybody to kind of enjoy the fact that this is another truck that could have won a championship out of Wisconsin. Driver.
Well, we should have.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
That's really cool. And the bumper cover Richard Petty signed that you had on your car when he hit you when you backed into him at Atlanta.
Yeah, when I backed into him.
In 92. That's going to be there too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's in Hartford, Wisconsin. We have a link on our website, I believe, racingroundupshow.com, to find out where that is. If you want to get on the Bickle Cruise, visit mymmtravel.com. Again, mymmtravel.com. Click on the Bickles Bon Voyage link for information. If you want to write down this number, feel free to call Mark at Making Memories Travel at 262-527-1341. I think he's right now in the middle of some kind of slip between Iceland and Norway or something on a cruise.
He said he's staying up drinking beer watching this. So
hi, Mark. Hey, how about we have you out in a month or so? You got anything cool you can drive to a car show if we have you at the Greenfield Gallery Car Show at Heaven City?
Well, I built a pretty cool piece here a while back, and if we're not in Costa Rica, maybe we'll come and we'll bring it.
That'd be cool. That'd be great if you could. How about I say it for Rich Bickle Jr. joining us here? Thank you, Rich.
You bet.
Lots going on in the world of Rich Bickle. I'm really glad we get a chance to catch up with you as well.
And if you want to be my neighbor, I got 42 lots to sell.
In Costa Rica?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the worst idea. You wouldn't even need a golf cart. You just pop next to Rich's patio and just help yourself, and you can help yourself on their patio.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
They have really good beer down there.
Yeah? Rich would know. We're going to wrap things up right about by saying thank you for joining us on the program. We are happy to have you join us each and every Tuesday when you can. If you can't join us, by all means, watch our show, like it on Facebook, and share it with your friends. I want to thank our great crew, Dave Schmalzer, Matt Rapina, Greg Lapine, Sam Trado, Dean Strom, Sherry Prague, Bruce Blodgett, Mark Goodman. We appreciate your support of our show. That's our crew, and there's a lot more people behind the scenes making this happen. Special thanks to Greg Lapine for his great work this past Saturday, getting 10 or so guests on from the big weekend at the Mile. We're back here next Tuesday. There's a lot of racing in Wisconsin, a lot of racing where you are. So as I like to say to everybody, set your DVRs, support your local racing, and have at it, racers. We'll see you next Tuesday.
We hope you enjoyed our show. Like our show on Facebook and share our show with your friends. Follow and interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. To listen and watch our shows on demand, visit our website, racingroundupshow.com. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, this is Dean Strom reminding you to support your local racetracks. Set your DVRs. Have at it, racers.